Good morning. This is meteorologist Brad Petovich with your Charlotte-Mecklenburg emergency management update on Debby. Debby is still a tropical storm, but as you can see from the loop, it's pretty broad and there's a lot of dry air in the middle. This is some good news. This should reduce the rainfall totals, still not eliminating our risk for flooding, but it is changing the parameters quite a bit. What we expect tonight into early Thursday is the circulation to move inland back over South Carolina and pass between Charlotte and Raleigh sometime late tomorrow into early Friday. Now, what that's going to do, it's going to allow for these bands of heavy rain, which are still developing out there off the coast of the Carolinas. It's these bands right here to pivot and rotate around into the Charlotte metro area during the early morning hours on Thursday. Because of that, we're still anticipating at least a 6 to 12 hour period of extremely heavy rain moving into the region. And that excessive rainfall outlook or flash flood guidance shows the highest chance of flooding today, here on Wednesday, is going to be confined to the coast, with Charlotte just kind of on the edge of the medium range. I'll turn off the satellite data because it makes it a little easier to see here. That's today's flash flood outlook. Tomorrow, you could see that risk begins to shift inland, and that does put Charlotte southwardly in that red area, which is about a 40% chance of seeing flash flooding in our area. You get into the pink, you're looking at closer to 70%. So we're still in that range of flash flood risk. As we go into Friday, that risk really reduces even more. We get back to the slight chance as the storm will start moving up into Virginia, and then that risk shifts up to the northeast. So it's really all about Thursday right now. We'll take a quick look at the futurecast. All right, so let's look at the futurecast. One thing that'll happen today, the heating of the day, we expect these rain bands to start building a little bit back to our southeast. We could see some scattered showers today, but notice the heavy stuff stays away from us. I'll zoom in a little bit closer so we can primarily see what's happening with Charlotte. This is going into the evening hours. No big deals really for your Wednesday, even the Wednesday evening commute. It's overnight tonight into early Thursday that we start to see these heavy rain bands developing. And primarily after about 2 in the morning, I expect these heavy rain bands, if they get going, to pivot back over Charlotte. So this is about 5 a.m. Thursday morning. You see this heavy rain band. And again, these are the type of rain bands, once they get over us, they could be dropping 1 to 3 inches of rain per hour. So really rapid, fresh water coming down, and rapid flash flood risk developing, especially in urban settings, because the water is going to have a tough time running off. And it sits over us most of Thursday morning until the middle of the afternoon. So you kind of get the idea. It's really that Thursday morning until, roughly mid to late afternoon. If that thing sits over us like that, especially the heavy rain, there could be real problems, even in a short period of time. So we're not out of the woods yet with Debby because of that potential of that rain band setting up over us. This is 5 p.m. and we still have rain over us. So it's all about Thursday. Really cannot emphasize enough. It's really a Thursday event. And by Thursday evening, the low kind of starts weakening a little bit. The bulk of the energy starts shifting north and things calm down going into Thursday night. So really all day Thursday, and I'll loop the whole thing just so you get an idea of the perspective of how we expect the system. This is a 48-hour loop, by the way, moving up over us. And that's that heavy rain band sitting right over us. So that's probably going to be the worst of it Thursday morning into the afternoon. And there will be some wind with that. Let's get to some of the wind potential. So we look at the wind potential. These are max wind gusts. You can see Charlotte right here in the middle of your screen. I'll circle it. There's Mecklenburg County. Average wind gust with this, about 30. I would say 35, probably top end. And if you couple that with very heavy rain, you're likely going to see some trees come down just because of the nature of moistening up the soil, loosening up that root ball, and then pushing 30-mile-an-hour wind on the tree. Especially this time of year, full leaves, you're going to see probably some trees come down. Shouldn't be a huge issue like we normally see with tropical systems, but it's something we certainly can't discount. As far as rainfall amounts, you could see the Charlotte area, Mecklenburg County. This is the latest update. This is basically through the weekend. About 5 inches of rain, but some parts of the county could get up to 6. If you were to ask me, I'd say the range is 4 to 6 inches. That seems pretty plausible, with a lot of that happening in a 12-hour period or so on Thursday. And so that's where you get into the potential for flash flooding. We could see heavier rain to the east. And again, there's a tight gradient between somebody getting a whole bunch of rain and some people not getting much at all. Quick look at just the timing of this again. You see the peak rain chances are really Thursday morning into the middle of the afternoon, the peak time right around the middle of the day. That's also when we see the peak wind gusts. And that's also what we see the heaviest rain. You see the amount. Some of these are, happening in a couple of hours, several inches of rain during the day on Thursday. So Thursday's the day. That's when we'll see the worst impacts starting early in the morning. Morning commute on Thursday will certainly be impacted, and possibly even the Thursday evening commute. So we're looking at pretty much an all day event before things improve. And by Friday and Saturday, no issues at all.